What is going on, guys? So a little more laid back, as you guys can tell. So Black Quarterback Series Saturday night edition. Let's get into it. So let's start with the late game, and then we'll speed back to the Kansas City game, and we'll just talk about ball. So the numbers. Russell Wilson, 22 for 37, 22 for 33, 217 yards, two touchdowns and an interception. Lamar Jackson, 15 for 23, 207, three touchdowns and an interception. Henry, 24 carries, which should have been like 30. 162 yards. Zay finally gets 100 yards on 5 receptions. And also, he reached 1,000 yards this season in reception. So let's talk about it. So the fumbles in the first half was really detrimental. So I thought the fumbles in the first half were going to be a lot more detrimental, but that defense, Baltimore's defense, played really, really well today. I was very impressed with the defense and how they were able to like bounce back from adversity. And Zach Orr called a good game. I was on the hot seat telling me we need to fire him and start over and blah blah blah. He's made strides to be a better defensive coordinator. And I heard he's a 90s baby, so shout out to him. So they moved Kyle Hamilton and Marlon Humphreys to safety. And that kind of like drastically changed the defense. Now, I'm not a defensive guru, so I can't tell you the mechanics of that. But just from what I see, it lowered the big play abilities of teams. It lowered the big playability of teams, and they're not able to like get as many big plays. Like they're not able to get as many big plays, so it allows the defensive tackles and ends to get there, and it allows I'm blanking on his name right now, number 0. It allows them to get to the quarterback better. So defense play well. I guess we just jump back and forth. The Pittsburgh offense really missed Pickens, but 15 was balling. 15 had made some huge plays that kept him in it. But that interception, after Lamar threw his interception, which that interception that Lamar threw was not his fault. If you should, obviously I'm not gonna have time to find the play and put it in here because this is going up like right after the game. So, but Bateman stopped running. When you're with the greatest runner ever, and you stop running, and you throw an interception, that's on Bateman. That's not on Lamar. All 4 of Lamar's, I think he has 4 or 5 interceptions this year, have been like weird madness like that. Or the player like fumbles, like bobbles it, and it was put right in the bread basket. Or Bateman stopped running, and Lamar threw it to where he thought Bateman should have been, and then the guy undercuts it. Like it's been that way the whole season. It's just weird, right? So even towards the end, the offensive line, talking about Baltimore, the offensive line was not sharp, but they were able to bully. They were able to bully Pittsburgh, which is a weird dynamic. So they were able to bully Pittsburgh up and down the field. And if it wasn't for the fumbles and Baltimore being Baltimore, this game probably could have been 50-14 or 50-7. You know what I mean? So I think going to the second half, they were able to neutralize the defense or neutralize Russell Wilson in the offense and get a big-time fumble, which led to where we are right now. I think if they don't get that fumble, they go into halftime tied at 14, and who knows where this game is going to be. But that defense made big plays when they needed to, but it also was shaky there and at stretches in the game. And that's where I'm concerned about this defense. When you're shaky in the middle of the game, Kansas City going to put up 21 on you. As simple as that. I mean, hell, I got Patrick Mahomes went out there, shot up on every type of medicine you could think of to numb that pain in their knee. And it didn't even matter, but we'll get to them in a minute. So, Chuck finally made a big field goal. And you could tell by how excited he was and just the animation that he had, like yelling and bumping heads with everybody. I was amped too. I was talking to my uncle. It's his first time watching it, sitting down and watching the game, and he was stressed. He was like, did not think he was going to make that kick at all. When they sent him out there, I was like, yeah, he's not going to make that kick. He made the kick, and I was happy about it, which led to us being up 17 and being able to maneuver differently. That if he would have missed that kick, then we got to have a different conversation, you know? So, one more thing. Top-level quarterback matchup. The numbers in the first half, and probably the numbers overall, honestly, don't look like top quarterback matchup numbers. But this is a phenomenal quarterback game, probably on both ends. Russell Wilson was making plays. It looked like he was in Seattle and Lamar. Lamar was playing Lamar type ball. He put balls where they needed to be. He had a couple critical drops there from receivers, but other than that, he played really, really well. Like I said, the interception, I think there was more on Bateman. If you check the all 22, you'll see Bateman literally stop running. So I can't put that on Lamar. So overall, great game. Shout out to the Baltimore Ravens. They clinched the playoffs, and now if Pittsburgh slides, they might have to go on the road. So I don't expect them to slide, but they do play Kansas City next. And I can't remember who they played the last week of the season. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens now because now they're even. Now you're even. It's going to be a race to the finish at this point. So looking forward to seeing it. But briefly talk about Pittsburgh. TJ Watt didn't make that big of an impact today. He must be hurt. Didn't see him on the field. He didn't make that big of an impact today. He was nowhere to be found. Joey Porter Jr. was hurt. He didn't return. He tried to play. He left the game. And Pittsburgh looks a little shaky right now without Pickens. They need Pickens to be that over the top guy, so they can run the ball and do everything they need to do. Russell Wilson looks good on the ground. He looked really, really great on the ground, and you see even in the losses, Russell Wilson don't look bad. Contrary to when he was in Denver, when he lost them all, he looked terrible. So shout out to this division. This division is such a bloodbath, and good game, really, really good game, man. I was very satisfied with this game. And so moving on to the last game of the day, Kansas City versus Houston. So before we even start this, prayers go out to Tank Dell and to Justin Hill, who had a concussion. Prayers goes out to them guys. Both of those were scary injuries, and I hope both of them get better and be able to recover. For Tank Dell, had a great season. Y'all probably win this game if Tank Dell doesn't get hurt. Tank Dell was killing him. Tank Dell had 6 receptions, 98 yards, and a touchdown before the injury. So he probably would have went for 150 and 2 more touchdowns. So, but prayers out to him. They said he's gonna. D'Amico said he's gonna stay in Kansas City in their trauma unit. He's gonna stay there, and they'll probably get the surgery tomorrow, and he'll start his rehab probably next week. Hopefully, that's best case scenario, most likely. So, but the numbers: C.J. Stroud, 23 for 39, 244 yards, 2 touchdowns. Mahomes, 28 for 41, a touchdown and a rushing touchdown. And the rushing touchdown didn't even look like he was hurt. Now, he failed, he got up, he was gimpy, but, man, as much numbing things or whatever they shot up in his high ankle sprain, he looks fine. So, let's get started. So, the CJ interception that led to a touchdown, really, really bad. But I have a hard time putting anything on CJ when this offensive line is so garbage. Like, this offensive line is garbage, man. Like, it's just, I have it on my notes, and I've had this on my notes probably 2-3 times this year. The offensive line issues are costing Houston points. And they're costing them points, and which ended up costing them games. So, it's just, I'm reading my notes, and it's just like, everything comes down to the offensive line. The offensive, I think it was number 57. I was watching Trey. I talk about Trey all the time, but he's my favorite streamer. So I was watching him do the watch party for Houston, and I think it was number 57. When I say the dude got hit with a pirouette, and he went off because Trey's a Houston Texans fan. Like, the offensive line is terrible, and they need to reevaluate this offensive line. I don't expect none of these guys to be back next year. And I think instead of I don't expect none of these guys to be back next year. So it's frustrating to look at. It's frustrating to look at because CJ's so talented. CJ has made some of the best plays. If CJ wasn't absolutely phenomenal, they are not 9-6 because this offensive line is that bad. It is that bad. So shout out to CJ. Prayers for Tank Dell. I really have nothing to say about the Chiefs. The Chiefs going to Chiefs, right? The Chiefs have a great defense. They blah, blah, blah. Chiefs, woohoo, yeah. So the Chiefs are the Chiefs. I'm not finna go into no big analysis about how great the Chiefs are, right? But the thing that's going to harp on the Chiefs is injury luck, and they're getting healthy. Hollywood came back, um, and like I said, just health. It's just health with them. So that's all I got for you guys. If you're watching on the radio station, go to YouTube/Black Quarterback Series Podcast, Instagram, Instagram.com/Black Quarterback Series or Black Quarterback Podcast. That's one of the two. I'll make sure I look before I say it again. And probably talk to you guys Monday. I'll talk to you guys Monday. Peace.